Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a magic circle. Sorry for the last video that there was no sound, but in this video there will be audio. So here I'm going to start with my ball of yarn and the end of my yarn. And what we're going to do is start on our middle finger, put the short end in front, and we're going to take the long end in the back and wrap around our middle finger like this. Wrap around the first index finger and pull it through the pinky finger so it looks like this. And what you're going to want to do is slide off the middle loop. Make sure you're holding down this part right here where it creates an X, and that our index finger and yarn right here is pulled tight. It's firm and tight, but it's not so tight that you can't move around with it. Okay, anytime you need to tighten, just pull onto the long end right here. Go ahead and pick up your crochet hook like this. Now you want to try to keep in mind to have your hook facing you, okay? We're going to insert into the loop. We're going to draw up the yarn from the back through the loop like this, and put our index finger on the loop that we drew up. We're going to yarn over where you put your hook in front of the yarn and hook and slide right through the loop. Okay? You want to make sure your index finger is always on the loop here. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is rewrap the yarn right here like I've shown you in class. Okay? Rewrap it on here. I like to coil it by putting the yarn in front of the pinky. Wrap around once, turn your hand, and put your index finger through so it looks like this. And using your middle finger and your thumb, you're going to want to hold on to your work right here. Okay, making sure that this circle is still open and still here. You can ignore the short end of the yarn and just hold on to it. Now what we're going to do is insert the hook into the circle, yarn over the back, pull it back underneath the circle and over. So now we have two loops. You're going to yarn over once again, and you're going to pull this loop right here, this yarn, through both of these loops. Okay, like so. Sometimes, if your loops were too tight on the crochet hook, you will not be able to pull your loop through completely, so you're going to have to loosen it up a little. Okay, so we're going to do this 5 more times because now we've created our first stitch. Okay, it looks like that. Looks kind of like a V shape. Okay, we're going to do this 5 more times to make our magic circle with 6 stitches. Here we go. We put the hook in through the circle, yarn over the back, we pull it through the circle again. Now we drew up 2 loops, hold on to it, yarn over again, and pull through both loops gently. We've created our second stitch. Here we go again for a third. You insert circle, yarn over, pull it back underneath the circle, yarn over again, pull it through both of the loops. Here we go again, insert, yarn over, back underneath, yarn over again, pull through. Let's see how many stitches we have now. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we need 2 more. So back into the circle, yarn over, pull it back underneath the circle, yarn over again, pull through those loops. Okay, again, my middle finger and thumb is still holding on to the circle. Okay, while my index finger here is holding on to the yarn so that it's nice and firm. Okay, insert, yarn over, pull back under the circle, and yarn over again, pull through the circle. Okay? One, two, three, four, five, six, and now we have 6. Okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to pull onto the short end here, and we're going to tighten our circle so that making sure you pull nice and tight. Okay? And now what you see here is a magic circle. Okay? Now again, there are 6 stitches here in the magic circle. We have 1. Let me see if I can do a close-up here. Okay, we have 1 stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our 6th one here. Okay, what you want to do is make sure that the short end of your yarn, let me zoom back out here, the short end of your yarn is underneath the long end. Okay, and here's the long end. Okay, we can pull it longer, shorter. Okay, what we're going to do now is close off our circle by doing a slip stitch. Okay, we're going to coil this in front, turn our hand, insert our index finger, and we're going to hold our work right here with our middle finger and thumb. Find your first stitch, which is right here, first stitch. We're going to, let me see if I can do a closer view for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is insert the crochet hook through both of those loops. Okay, I kind of messed that one up. Okay, we're going to do that again. We're going to insert through our first stitch. That means both of them. Okay, this is our first stitch right here where we inserted. Okay, you insert under both of those loops and you're going to yarn over. Okay, yarn over behind the yarn, and you're going to pull this yarn through the first stitch that you drew, that you went through. So it's like this, and you're going to pull it through all the way through both loops. This is how you create a slip stitch. Okay, and now you're ready to go on to round 2 of the instructions. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.